Hi, and welcome to the Bookish Stitcher podcast. My name is Jeanette. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram and Goodreads as Bookish Stitcher, all one word. I hope you guys are ready for what will probably be the longest, hopefully, the longest episode that I've ever done, because normally I try to keep them about half an hour, but this is one I'm going to talk about the retreat I went to last 2 weeks ago, week and a half. And I know that I got on last week and just gave a tiny little bit, but this week I'm going to tell you all about it, and I'm really excited, and it's going to be a long one. So please go grab some tea, go grab some coffee, water, you're knitting. It's not going to be long in the sense of hours. I'm thinking 45 minutes because that's long for me. But let me get straight into my knitting. I'm going to show you guys what I finished this week. I finished my brother's sock head hat. And this is going to be his Christmas present. And this is out of some Saki yarn, Prism yarn in the Saki colorway. And I had my husband try it on just because guy's head to see. My brother's head's a little bit bigger than my husband's. But as soon as my husband tried this on, he said that he wants one for himself because he's never felt yarn this soft. So I don't know if I have enough left, but my husband's head is a lot smaller. So maybe. I definitely won't have enough for the rolled. That's what it looks like, and I think my brother's gonna like it. And it didn't take me that long to finish. Week and a half. The next thing I have to show you guys has been on the needles for 2 months and 1 week, and it is done. And I only had a tiny little ball left. I don't even know if it would be enough for a blanket square, but probably. And it is my Hitofude. So glad to have this done, and even more glad that it fits and it looks great. My husband was saying how pretty it looks on me. I would try it on for you guys, but it's 100 degrees here right now, I believe, and that's too hot for any sweater, even a lace one. And so this is knit out of some Jinx yarn in her single merino in the colorway Rain. And it needs to be blocked, soaked and blocked. But that's what it looks like. It's done. There's the arms. And I added extra to use up all the yarn for the body. And you can kind of see the pattern there, hopefully. It's just a simple V-knot, or it's like a V-stitch, like a chevron kind of. You can definitely memorize it after you've done a few repeats of it. I am so glad that that is done. You have no idea. I was beginning to think that I would not get it done by the end of July, but I did. Yay! That is all for my finished objects, but that's a good amount. I'm gonna have a sip of water. I brought a plethora of drinks so I could sustain myself through all the talking, because I'm not used to talking for how long I'm going to be talking with the retreat and everything. So first, some water. Next to my works in progress, in my Tangerine Designs bag, I have this adorable little thing. And these are my Knitter's Nightmare socks in the Sally's Dress colorway. And I finished one. Like that. And I made them a little bit longer than I should have because I was knitting on them at the retreat and I just kept going. But luckily it wasn't a disaster. They're just about ½ an inch too long, so it's better that they're too long than too short. And I just started the toe of the next one. Next thing I have is my design shawl that I'm doing from the Susan B. Anderson design class that I took at SSK, which I'll tell you about in that segment, because I'm going to show you my works in progress, my spinning, then do group news, then enabling is going to be in with SSK since that's where it all belongs. Now for my design, it's in my Freckled Whimsy newspaper print bag. This hasn't gotten that much love because I'm noticing as I'm getting farther along in the design, I'm slowing down because I'm trying to picture what should come next. I had an idea, all mapped out what I was going to do, and I don't know how designers do this, but I had looked up to make sure there was nothing else like my design. It was great. I had it all planned out. And then I was on Instagram yesterday and a new designer was putting out their pattern and it was the one that I was doing. So it must be so hard if you do this consistently to come up with something original. I can't imagine how hard it would be to try to find and make sure you're not copying anybody's idea. But this is just something for me. And it's out of some Desert Vista Dye Works in the Fall Dragon gradient. That's what it looks like. Red gradiating to purple. And I'm doing a crescent shaped shawl. And cutesy, I have, little tiny penguin stitch markers. Aren't those so cute? I love those. So I'm just plugging away at that, hoping it gets done soon. I'm kind of doing about 2 rows every day. I don't know. I think I'm still going to go with what I already had in my mind and not try to come up with something else because I'm not going to be publishing this or anything, so it'll just be kind of like what the other one is already out. And then my last whip is in my Casey Pockets to Go bag that I love. So cute. And this is my Iberian Discovery Shawl by Stephen West. And it is huge. And I'm not even yardage-wise, I'm not even halfway through. There are 4 balls of yarn that go into this, and this is the second one. And it's this gorgeous single ply yarn, and it's in the colorway Water Green. I brought a skein to show you. And it's Malabrigo. That's what the colorway is. And it's this really pretty mint green. And I love single ply shawls for the coziness of wearing them to bed. And I'm on the last section. This shawl is done in different sections, so I'm on the final part, but it's so big and it grows so much in this final section. Trying to find the top part. Okay. I can't, this is on my largest cable on my interchangeable, my marbles. I only have 1 set of interchangeables because that's all I really need, but it's on my largest needle, the one I got for that huge blanket that I was doing, if you guys remember, and it's outgrown, but it's really pretty. This part right here was a little tricky to do, but once I read suggestions on Ravelry of what other people had done, it was easy. And it's just so big. This is going to be the most cozy shawl in the world. So pretty. And I'm really loving knitting on it because it's really soft. The single ply makes it really soft. And since I'm just going to be wearing it to bed at night, I'm not really worried about if it gets pills on it or anything. That's all of my knitting that I've been doing. I do have 2 projects that I'm going to be starting new this week, and they're in some really cute bags that I can't wait to show you guys. One of them is new, and I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram and show it in the Ravelry group so everybody can see. But it's an adorable whales bag by Bags by Awesome Granny. It's little whales, and they're in hats, little top hats, and the back is kind of this plaid. It's all done in blue, and then the inside is the happiest yellow with white polka dots, and I absolutely love that bag. And this whip, or all the whips, right now, Darlene in the Bags by Awesome Granny group is running a whip knit along. So any of your whips that you're doing right now, anything, it doesn't matter yardage, it doesn't matter when you start it, you can enter into her group for a bag set. So if you're not already in her Ravelry group, you should definitely go over and just enter a picture of one whip that you finish up before, I think, September, somewhere in there. Just go and check out the details on her group, and you can enter to win a bag set, and her bags are wonderful. That's all the knitting, and then I have spinning because, as you know, it's been Tour de Fleece, and I was hoping to have a yellow shirt because apparently you're supposed to wear yellow on, I think today's the last day, the 26th, to announce victory, but I don't have any yellow I have one from college that doesn't fit me anymore, but I don't have any. I was going to wear a yellow necklace, but it's okay. So spinning this week. I have 3 finished plied braids with me, and then upstairs I have 2 bobbins full of singles that still need to be plied that are going to be done later tonight. But I wanted to bring and show you the ones that were done. This first one is for my mom, and it's still really damp. It's a 50 merino, 50 silk, so I think it's taking a while longer to dry because I hung this up to dry yesterday. Just for my mom. It's a present. And it's this beautiful browns and blues, and I think she's going to love it, so I'm excited. And this is Fiber Obsession, I believe. It's a dyer that you can't get anymore. And then all the rest of what I've been spinning has been Cloud Lover, which I brought down a little tag to show you. And I absolutely love Cloud Lover so much. You can tell my nails are blue, or kind of a grayish blue from the Hitofude. The dye kept coming off on my hands. So I'm going to have to soak that in a vinegar thing before I wear it so it doesn't get blue on me. But the next thing I have are all Cloud Lover, like I was saying. And this is Mother of Dragons, and this turned out so beautifully. I showed you last week it on the bobbin, but it's now had its bath, and it's all skeined up. It reminds me of the beach. I think it's so pretty. And it's really soft. I don't want to get my face on it. It's so soft. And then the other one I have is still very wet. It just had its bath this morning. But it's gorgeous, and I wanted to bring it down to show you. It's dripping all over me. That is right there. It's so pretty. It's corals, like a light pink, white, green, and blue, and then some bits of brown. I love spinning. It's so fun. And the tour has really just made me love spinning so much more. I like those things where you get to set little goals for yourself and achieve them. And I actually did really well because my goal for the tour was those 3 braids of fiber, and you saw the other 2, but those went off to friends. My friend Abby got 1 braid. My friend Jen got another braid when I went to the retreat. And so my goal was 3 braids of fiber, and I have done, I think 6 or 7. I'm going to sit here and go through it in my head, but I'm pretty sure 6 or 7. So I've more than doubled my goal, and I'm really happy with that. And I've got a lot of spinning done, and I'm in a good spot. I've used up the older stuff, and somebody was asking about storing fiber, and basically, I'm not going to go into it a ton. Don't smash your fiber. Don't put bricks on it. Don't put heavy books on it. Don't put heavy things on it. Fiber needs to breathe. So that's how to store it, and how to store your fiber. How to not store it. Don't put bricks on it. Don't put books on it. And then somebody was asking how to do pencil roving. So what I do for pencil roving is I undo the whole braid. Like, here's a braid. This is going to be a braid. The prize for a Tour de Fleece thread, I'm going to leave that open. I'll talk about that in group news. But you would undo the entire braid till it's just a strip. And then I start at the top of the strip, and I will normally break it into 6 little smaller, and you just rip it all the way down the entire length of the braid, which is several feet, maybe 7 or 8 feet, I don't know exact. But you rip it all the way down, and then I roll it into a little ball. Again, don't squish it. It needs to be fluffy. And then I put them in a little thing and spin them from that. So that's how I make pencil roving. I don't know if there's a better way, or that's just the way I invented it in my own head. Last thing before enabling and retreat is group news. Okay, try to remember everything. There's so much to remember, and I thought of having actual show notes this time, but if I have my personality, if I have show notes, I like to just feel like I'm talking to you, and if I'm reading show notes, I think I'll lose that talking to you feeling. But group news we have going on currently our Fingering Weight Cal, and that ends the 31st of July. I'm looking at my calendar, which is a Friday, and the prizes for that are Bags by Awesome Granny Darlene, who is so generous, said that the winner for that one can pick whatever medium-sized bag that they want. There's a selection. It says medium size, you pick. So they can go in and you can pick any one you want if you win. So definitely get your entries in for that. And then Heidi of Undead Yarn, also so generous, gave us this skein of the Shire, and it's a beautiful single, and you guys know my love of singles. It's really pretty. And it's 438 yards fingering weight. It's very, very pretty. And the winner of that also will get a Susanna Icy pattern of their choice so that they can knit that into whatever pattern of hers that they would like if they want to. So there's 2 prizes for the fingering weight, Cal. Get in all your entries. And then next, Cal, that we have coming up is little ones. So knit anything for your little one, your friend's little one, a charity little one, a little one yet to be determined. I love gift box. I'm going to knit up some things for little baby hats and sweaters maybe for gift box, because I love to have one to just pull out so then I don't have pressure deadlines. And little, little furry ones, any little one. If your little ones are now 24, that still counts, I guess. But any little ones knit for that, and I will show the prizes for that next week. I have a little bag and a skein of yarn and some needles for the prize for that. And then we also have a thread, an unofficial Tour de Fleece thread going on right now. And like I said, this is the braid that you can win for that. Just share pictures of what you're doing. I'm going to leave it open for a few more days, so if people are applying and want to take time to get their pictures up. So this is a braid of Three Waters Farm. Sorry, it's glaring. There you go. And that's what you can win. And it's in the colorway Cool Soil Blue Sky. And it's 80% merino, 20% Tussa Silk. And the other thing we have going on, and this is a year-long one, is use up your 15 oldest skeins. And I hope you're doing better on that than I am. I need to get on that. I'm starting to feel a little pressure, like a little bit that I'm not going to get it done, but I will. I'm pretty good at meeting goals. And I drew a winner for that, for the 15 oldest skeins. The idea for that is all up in the thread. You can look on the Ravelry group, and you just post a picture whenever you finish one of your 15 oldest skeins. And the winner this month, because at the end of every month I draw a winner, the winner this month was post number 8, Kiki Lucy, and a pair of socks, I believe. So congratulations. Just contact me and let me know what $7 or less pattern you would like, and I will get that sent off to you. Is that everything? I'm trying to rack my brain. And it might not be everything, but we're just going to say it is. So I hope you're prepared for the long haul. It's been about 20 minutes, and hopefully I can get the rest of this done in about 25. Have another sip of water. So SSK, I'm going to start with, while I was gone from SSK, I got some club yarn, and I wanted to show them to you before I got into the whole SSK stuff. I have a giant box right here. My husband said, oh my gosh, it didn't look like you had gotten this much stuff. And I said, this isn't all from SSK. This is club stuff while I was gone. I got packages from friends. I got given some presents and stuff like that. So, but this is my last of my Gilmore Girls Yarn Club. And it is Rocker Chick. It's dyed for Jeanette. You can kind of see all that. I absolutely love this one. It's these different shades of purple with pops of lime green and hot pink. It is gorgeous. This is maybe one of my favorite ones. I think that is very pretty. Club yarn, last one. On to the new club. The next club that I'm in, I sponsored, helped support, I don't know what you would call it, a Kickstarter. And it was for, I want to make sure, it's by Brittany of Spun Fiber. And I got this, I was like, oh, it's very pretty. And I saw the name. And you know how sometimes the name just makes it for you. So this is Spun Fiber. It's not going to focus because I don't have any fancy camera. Sorry. I'll just read it to you. Luna, and it's locally sourced and spun hand-dyed merino wool. And the colorway is Ferris wheel. Isn't that? as soon as I read the colorway name, I immediately could envision it, and I just fell in love with it. And this is so bouncy. I love how the natural merinos and the natural wools are just really, really bouncy. I'm excited to knit with it. And it's 350 yards of a sport weight. Look at that. I'm really excited. And she sent me a note and told me to email her that might have a giveaway for the podcast sometime. So as soon as I get everything kind of wound down from all the stuff that's been going on, I'm definitely going to email her and talk to her about that, because I just love her stuff. And I love the idea of the locally sourced and the not harshly chemical treated stuff. Those were the 2 clubs that came while I was gone. And then I got a package from the wonderful Robin, 92, and I loved it. She and I did a little bit of a swap kind of thing, and so I wanted to show you. She sent me a postcard from Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello. I don't know if it's, but she wrote me a little note on there, and I think that's beautiful. And then in with that came a package. She tied everything up really cute. Little teas, the little bow. And I love tea, as you guys know. Tea and coffee are my favorite drinks other than water. And she sent me a little soap, and it's lavender. And it smells really good and really relaxing. I really want to go visit his home someday. I haven't gotten to go to that area of the country since I was apparently 2, and I don't really remember that, but I would love to go. My son went up a couple years ago with his grandparents. And then she sent me this really cute bag of all of these mini skeins. I won't show them all to you because then it would be over an hour. But there's so many, and there's so many different colors, and I really like that one. There's like an orange with blues. Oh, this is pretty. And I need to knit these into my blanket. I haven't shown you guys my blanket. It has several squares on it, and I will make a goal to show that to you next month, to get some of these and some of the other ones that I got knit up into it. I think that's everything that I got before the retreat. So, retreat time. I'm actually really excited to tell you about this. So woke up early Wednesday morning. My husband drove me to the airport, and I was armed with my Kindle and knitting, my brother's socket hat, which I finished, an audiobook, which is the book that I'm going to be reviewing for this week, even though I haven't finished it. Shh. It's a really long audiobook. I was trying really hard to finish it today, but I haven't yet. Got on the plane. I was praying a lot that my plane ride would go smoothly, and it did. Thank goodness, because I've had some ones where it didn't, and that's not always fun. This was so smooth. Everything went great. Got there. My roommate friend Jen, Ironical Knitter, picked me up from the airport, and she and I exchanged little roommate presents, and I gave her some handspun, a bag that I got, and some different stuff. And then she gave me, so Robin gave me tea, and Jen gave me coffee, cookie doodle coffee. I think that looks yummy. I am set on drinks. I'm really excited. I have really bright lipstick on today. Looks fancy, right? And then Jen also gave me a whole bunch of minis to put in my blanket. And she labeled them all, and I'm excited to go through and try some different yarns. Yay. So we did that. We went and we had some lunch. We had sushi. And then we went to Scarrett Bennett, which is the center place where the retreat is held. And we just kind of sat and knit for a while. And so many of you came up and introduced yourselves to me. I did not expect that there would be people that watched the podcast that I didn't know. So thank you so much for coming up and introducing yourself to me. And some of you I even got to sit down and hang out with quite a bit during the retreat, like Big D, Denise, and Debbie, who's an amazing market shopper. I loved all her purchases that she got. So waited in line, and there was a queue that formed up immediately to check in, and it was really big, and I didn't want to wait in that. So waited till it died down, and then got the goodie bag. And their goodie bags are always amazing. I can tell that they put so much effort and thought into it. And there was a lot of procrastination wins for me, because my friend was laughing when I said this term. Procrastination win to me is when you're going to buy something, but you just procrastinate, you don't buy it, and then it comes and it's in your goodie bag. So you are glad that you didn't buy it first thing in the goodie bag, there's so much to show. Hazel Knits was the official yarn, and this is a Lively DK in the Alexandrite color, originally created for SSK Knit Girls 2015. It's really pretty purple and gray, and one of those is a giveaway prize. There's so many things, and there's going to be crinkling, so if you hate that, I'm sorry. Little samples of yarn. And then there was free pattern stuff, little labels to do your hand spun. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. This was one of the procrastination wins. It's a sock ruler. I have been wanting these, and I definitely used this at the retreat because I was knitting on socks. And this is also a reason why my sock was a little bit longer than I would have realized, because I didn't know, I hadn't used this before, so I didn't know how far I should make it. So now I know if I wear a certain size, I should only go to this. But I love the sock roller, and I'm really excited that I didn't buy one because it was in the goodie bag. Next thing in the goodie bag, Tuft Woolens. This made the entire goodie bag smell so amazing. If you have not tried Tuft Woolens, you would probably love it if you like stuff that smells really strong and really good. And she made this one specifically for the retreat, I believe. Blueberry Lemonade Sock Soap. That's her little logo. I wish there was smell-o-vision. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? I can smell it, and it smells really, really good. So that was in there, making the whole goodie bag smell amazing. And then really cool, Acreworks, who does the 3D printed like bobbins. I have some for my wheel. They did buttons. And everybody got different colored buttons. Apparently it's like a rainbow when all the buttons arrived. But I got an SSK. I don't know if everybody got the same buttons. And then a whole bunch of just knit stitch looking ones. And there were 5 buttons in total. I think these are really cute, and I'm excited to use them. Next thing, tape measure, which is always good because if you have a 3-year-old that's like mine, she loves to take these and break them. So I can always use more tape measures. And then there are just a couple more things. A little Lolo sample thing in pink grapefruit. I keep one of these in every single one of my knitting bags. Sometimes in the summer they melt, but I absolutely love them. And they're perfect size, and you can get a trial pack of 6 different ones. And then another procrastination win. So what just fell on the floor was lip gloss that I can't show you. Don't get too excited. Things will fall. So this, which I was just getting really excited about, is a row counter, and it goes on your finger. And it just sits there. And you can tap it whenever you're, so they come in many colors. I got a silver, and I'm really excited to have this. The chapstick that rolled away from me, I don't remember the name of it. I feel bad now, but just a couple more things from the goodie bag. This was the goodie bag, which still smells like that Tuft Woolens soap, which I think she has some up in her shop. I love this bag. Do you see all the wonderful Nashville Super Summer Knit Together? It's such a fun bag. I really, really like it. Next, stuff is collapsing under the weight of so much things. And then this was the last thing I got in my goodie bag, which was a shirt by Gusler Designs. She does t-shirts. Her and her husband have a cool team of doing stuff. And it says, "Gauge before rage," and it's a baseball t-shirt. And I am excited. It's really pretty, and it's funny, soft, and I'm definitely going to be wearing that in the fall. It's kind of A&M Aggie colors too, so that's cool. That's all of the goodie bag. So checked in, got that, went to Starbucks. Starbucks was a daily thing. every day around 3 p.m. when I would start to hit that tiredness, a bunch of us or a couple of us would walk over to Starbucks. And it was very funny because the name Jeanette apparently boggles the mind, and they can never spell it right. So I was joking with the guy, just spell it however you think would be the most fun. And he spelled my name Jeanette, but a little weirdly. And he said Janetta Leciousness or something. It was very cute. I posted a picture on Instagram. And he was just a lot of fun. There were a whole bunch of different people serving up at Starbucks, and they said that they all love when the retreat people come through because they're always so nice and happy. I'm having some iced coffee in that. And then Wednesday night, came back, hung out and just knit, went to bed. Thursday morning, got up, and my friend Abby, who I was so excited to see because I hadn't seen her in forever since she had moved. She used to be a local to San Antonio, but she moved up north. She got into the retreat off the wait list, and she had looked up and found out that there was a replica of the Parthenon, a huge replica of the Parthenon, and the statue of the Greek goddess Athena. And I would have never known. I would have just spent the morning sitting and knitting. But she looked up this great place, and we went, just she and I. And that's a button from it. It was really big, and they had a museum inside. And I really enjoyed the museum. It had a lot of... Apparently, the Parthenon was built for a World's Fair, I believe, or one of the exhibitions that they used to do hundreds of years ago, many decades ago. And it was built for that. I wish I had brought down the brochure. I thought I did, but I guess I forgot it in my trying to gather everything up. But it had a 42-foot tall statue of Athena, which was painted with 8 pounds of gold paint. And I tried to take a picture of my friend Abby next to the statue, and it was so bright that you couldn't see her. The statue was so bright. And inside, it just had a lot of different stuff in the museum, and then you'd walk up a level, and there was giant, huge doors and giant ceiling, and Athena was in there, and she had her shield and her breastplate, and it was all kinds of symbolism, and they had different plaques describing it. And I love museums, and I very rarely get a chance to go because my 3-year-old doesn't do well in museums just yet. So it was really nice to go, and I sat and knit a little bit in front of the Athena statue, and I just really pondered because centuries ago people used to make pilgrimages to these gods to pray, and just it was very neat idea to think about how it would have felt to someone who had traveled all this way and appearing in front of this enormous statue. I can very much see how something that big and that just shiny would very much give you a sense of awe and reverence. It was very impressive. And I went back after the Parthenon, and luckily that was the coolest day that we were there. Went back, so that was Thursday, and we sat and we knit, and then Thursday evening was the try-it-on room, and not the try-it-on room, the tasting room. And the tasting room is basically a whole bunch of different tools that you would use for knitting, spinning, carding fiber if you want to process fleece, different knitting needles, anything that is a tool for the crafts that we do that are fiber related. And I went in there for a little bit, but I already have enough tools, and I'm very minimalistic, like I've said. I don't have tons of interchangeables. I have one set. I had one, I wanted a new one, so I sold the old one, got a new one. That's just kind of how I am. But I did try out some glass needles that I really liked, and I thought they were very nice. And that was about all I tried on, or I tested out in there. And I went back to the hotel, and then Friday morning had breakfast, and then went to the Susan B. Anderson shawl design class. And, I forgot to tell you guys, Wednesday night was opening ceremonies for the retreat. You all gathered in a large room, and they had door prizes, and they talked about what would be going on during the retreat. I didn't win any door prizes, but there were a lot of people that did win. And my friend Abby won too, and I was so happy for her. It was great to see your friend win, and she was so excited. So Friday morning, back to Friday morning. So I had never experienced this, but I was having a fangirl moment with Susan B. Anderson. I would see her, and I would go and hide. I would run it. I didn't know if I was gonna, when I would see her at the retreat before the class, I couldn't go up and introduce myself. So I wanted a picture with her, and I was beginning to get nervous that I wasn't even going to be able to do that because I have been reading her blog for so long, and I just find her so kind and inspiring that, and she's been on a bucket list of mine, or my knitting bucket list, to meet for a class, and I never had that feeling of where I was so nervous and excited to meet someone that I couldn't speak to them. And, you know, I've met other people who design stuff, and my friend Susanna I see, she's designed tons of stuff, and I haven't gotten that feeling, but I did with Susan B. Anderson, and I almost didn't get a picture. It was class design morning, and my friends forced me to go up and take a picture with her because I was chickening out, and I started to try and tell her how much it meant to me to take her class, and I started getting teary-eyed, and I had to stop myself because she probably thought I was crazy. Maybe I am, but it was cool though because the class kept going on, and at one point I was talking to her and I was saying, hey, on this shawl that I see here that you've done, because she had samples of all these different shawls, is this lace pattern that you have? Because she had amazing handouts, and she told me that I had a good eye for lace design. Susan B. Anderson gave me a compliment. You're made. So that was just, I'm getting over it. That was just so fun, and the class flew by. And I've been knitting on that shawl that I did for the class, and she was adorable. She was a lot shorter in person. I'm 5'3". I would say she's 4'11" or 5 foot, very tiny. She had the quirky, cutest outfits and glasses, and I absolutely loved getting to spend time with her. I think that she would be an amazing person to have around at your local knit nights or something like that. And then Friday we had lunch after that, and then we went to House of Yarn because they were starting to load up the market. The market was on Saturday morning, and so they kind of closed off this main huge area, and they were starting to load stuff in. So we couldn't go shop, but you're seeing all this stuff, and you're just feeling really like you want to go get something. So a bunch of us got into a van and went to House of Yarn. And I got a couple of things there. I did have a whole bunch more, and I put some back. First thing I got, I had to get this. Does a bear knit in the woods? Possibly. Is that not so fun? And the back is this really pretty lace panel. And it's a nerd shop. I absolutely love this shirt, and he's knitting in the woods. It's really soft. And then one of the main reasons I wanted to go there was because they had Jill Draper Make Stuff, and I have never used her yarn before. So they had tons of Jill Draper everywhere, and I had several skeins, and I told myself, put every back except for one. So I got this one, which is Jill Draper Make Stuff in the Windham Palest Petunia. It's 220 yards of Windham, which I had never tried. It's a really pretty color. And again, super bouncy. I love the bounciness. And then they had up when you walked in the front a kind of tiered basket with different special colorways for Nashville. I don't know if they had done them just for the retreat or if it was just kind of a thing. But one of the colorways they had from the Nashville collection, inspired by Music City landmarks created for House of Yarn by Florida Fiber, was the Parthenon. And it's this very pale cream with hints of blue in it, and almost a bit of brown too. So you can kind of see the brown right there. So that was the yarn that I got. And the last thing I got was they had a whole bunch of Lolo bars, and you could actually smell them. I've only ordered online, so I just kind of had to guess and get little samples, and if I liked one, get another one of it. But I've never gotten to smell different ones, and this is one that I never would have probably even tried a sample, but when I smelled it, I loved it. It was Pink Sugar Kisses, a Lolo bar. And I, again, really like these. This is a bigger one, of course. And what it looks like is just like that. You have to be careful with these if you live in warmer climates because they will melt everywhere and you won't be able to get it open. So store it in a cool, dry place. And then Friday night, I can't believe I'm already at 40 minutes. Friday night, we came back Friday after the yarn shop, and we had strategically placed ourselves, gotta slow down, to where we were at the loading dock so we could see all the beautiful things coming in. It was getting me so excited. Kid on Christmas right here. No joke, I get really excited for market day. And after that night, it was the try it on room, which so many people have brought shawls and sweaters and hats and everything, and you could try it on. I tried on a Hero, which is a sweater that I have yarn for and I'm hoping to make, and I learned some things that I want to adjust about the pattern. I tried on a few other things. I can't really remember all that I tried on. I tried on a Tiny Owl Knits deer antler hat, and it was so fun. I was running around photo bombing in that hat because the ears and the antlers, you could feel them move when you would wiggle your head, and I was just feeling very goofball-y at that time, so I was just being a silly person. And then went back and went to sleep and woke up, and it was market day. I kept saying to everyone that I would see, it's happy market day. Seriously, the most excited person about market day. It was funny the different reactions I would get from people because we would see different people as we were walking into breakfast and walking to Starbucks. I did not get in the line really early, but different people I would see, and I would say happy market day, and some people happy market day, and some people were just as excited as I was. And I was trying to tell my friend Jen and my friend Nikki, who are there, that I'm not always this excited. Oh wait, yes I am. I guess I just, if I'm excited, I show it. I'm like a little kid in some different aspects. I'm not always super peppy, but around market day, I am. So had breakfast, got our Starbucks, went in line. We were about halfway in the line. It's because I love the feeling on market day. Everybody's in the line, everybody's happy, everybody's excited, talking about what you would like to get and just meeting new people around you in line and knitting in line. So that was really fun. And then they opened up the market and in we went. And I do not have everything to show you that I got from market. I was actually really restrained this year. Last year I'd saved up for a really long time, and I had gotten 3 full bags of stuff at the market. This year I didn't even fill 1 bag. But because I've already shown you a lot, are you as overwhelmed as I am? I was trying to envision how I was going to fit all this stuff around me, and I just said, nope. And plus, I'm not going to be buying any yarn online. My next thing that I have is in September. And that's Stitches, Texas, and then I have Rhinebeck. So I'm really not going to be doing any other buying during this time of festival season for me. So I'm going to stretch it out and show you a little bit every week so that I can have stuff to show you. So what I'm going to be showing you from the market today is non-yarn or fiber stuff. So you know that bar of soak wash, the sock soak stuff that I was raving about from Tuft Woolens? She had a full-size soap, and I had to get it. It smells so good, and it's pretty. Surround yourself in luxurious bubbles. Essential oils mixed together to fill your bath with fragrance, leave you smelling beautiful. So I got one of those. I resisted. I had 3 in my hands, but I didn't get any more. I don't know if I showed you guys. Did I show you? This was also in the goodie bag. This is Hello Yarn. I didn't originally order this, so it could kind of be like a market purchase, but I don't think I showed this. There's so much stuff around me, it's hard to know. But I didn't originally order this, but it's Hello Yarn, and I would never be able to get her. She's one of those that you have to wait like years to get on her fiber club. So they had extras, and I got this. It's very pretty. So that should have been in the Wednesday segment where I showed you what was in the goodie bag. Oops. This is just disorderly chaos. So I showed you the soap, and then from Gusler Designs, I got some of her little tags that you put on your handspun, and these can go in water. And it says, Mother of all tags, 12 waterproof pre-strung tags for labeling your handspun yarn used with Sharpie permanent markers, GuslerDesigns.com. I got those. And then I went to the Fat Squirrel to get a bag, and I got this one. Isn't that pretty? It's a navy blue. And then the inside. So you can kind of see it. And so I got this and a couple other things that I'll show you later. And then I was feeling kind of overwhelmed, so went back up to the kind of hidden little alcove that I had found hang out with friends. Went up there, counted, and saw that I had spent less than a third of the money I had brought already. So decided to just, I think we were all sitting up there knitting, and Heidi, my friend Heidi, who does the Undead Yarns, she was knitting, she had gotten this bag, and I thought it was cute, and it was one of the ones that was in the running for a bag that I wanted. But then she showed me the inside, and I ran back downstairs and got one of the very last ones. Cindy, Knitter Mom 65, I believe, she got the other last one because I showed her how pretty it was. Hi, Cindy. And it's really gorgeous. It's just so dainty and delicate, and I really like the fabric. I think that is all that I was going to show today, but like I said, went to lunch and then came back and went to the market again and got my other purchases that I'll be showing you, and the yarn and fiber that I got. And hung out and had closing ceremonies on Saturday, and I didn't get any of the door prizes, but that's okay because my friend Nikki and my friend Heidi got door prizes, and I am the type of person, I'm just as happy when other people, I can feel their excitement. So I'm just as happy when other people win door prizes as when I am, especially if I know them and I know they're really excited about it. And there were funny shenanigans going on at closing ceremonies, which was really fun. Somebody sang, Joe Sock Monster, I believe, sang a song that was related to the retreat that was hilarious. So it was just a good time had by all. And then I went back, had my flight out Sunday, which was kind of interesting because there was another convention going on, and it was a very big one, and they had gotten something in their package that was setting off all of the security stuff, so the line was insane. I'd never seen it like this at an airport. But I got through it, and there were other knitters on the plane, and it was tons of fun. And like I said last week, I got to meet a woman who is American but lives in France, and we were trying to converse in French, but my brain wouldn't work. So that is all the enabling for this week. I do have a book, even though it's already at 50 minutes, so it's going to be the shortest book review ever. And like I said, I'm not done with it because this book I'm going to my Audible. I listened to it on Audible. I listened to it before when I was doing Tour de Fleece. I listened to it on the plane ride up, on the plane ride back. I listened to it this week during Tour de Fleece. And it's over 25 hours of a book. So that's why it took so long. But the book, as you can see, I have less than 5 hours left, is Amy Tan, The Valley of Amazement. And Amy Tan is a wonderful writer. She's kind of hit or miss for me because some of her stuff, she delves very deeply into the darkest of human emotions and places. And sometimes, depending on what you've experienced in your life, I'm not going to go all into this, but sometimes there are places, if you've experienced something personally, at least for me, that you can't go, that it just makes you too sad. So a couple of her books that I've read, I haven't been able to get through, but this one hasn't been like that so far. Still have 5 hours left. But it's a generational story of three women, which would kind of be the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. And the story primarily deals around the mother, and it's set a lot of it in China. And the whole story is there's the grandmother who came to China following a man and ended up living there and having her whole story, and I won't give any of that away. Then she had the daughter, or the mother. She had her daughter, who is the mother in the story, Violet. And Violet is who most of the story is about. It's really a lot about her life. It only transitioned to being about Lucia, who is the mother, towards the end part. And it deals with, Violet and her mom are concubines in China. I believe that's the term that they use. They're in a house, and it's a lot. There is sad stuff in it, but there's a lot of happy stuff too. And Amy Tan's writing is very beautiful. So if you like really well-written, beautiful things, I would definitely recommend Amy Tan. There is some sex stuff in this book because it's about concubines in China. And Violet, the girl, has a daughter, Flora, and so it's basically their lives and the story of their lives and the story of the trials and struggles and joys that they went. It's a very much just a story of a family and strong, strong women characters, which is amazing, and I really love to read about the strength of these women and all that they've had to endure, but they kept persevering. And they kept finding ways to battle against the men that were trying to really do horrible things to them. So the audiobook is really well written. It doesn't tell me who the narrator is on my phone as of right now, so sorry I can't tell you that. But it was off of Audible. That's where I get my books from. And it's the unabridged Amy Tan, Valley of Amazement. And if you're looking for a nice long audiobook for a car ride, or just if you have an Audible account and you want to really get the most bang for your buck, I highly recommend this so far. I know I'm not done. I really tried. I thought of staying up all night so that I could finish the audiobook just so I could say I'd finished it for today, but didn't make it. That's everything that I have. It's the book, all the knitting, all the retreat stuff. We had great time with wonderful friends, met new friends, had wonderful food, Thai food, and all kinds of different food. So it was really great. They had lots of vegetarian options for me, which was wonderful. And I look forward to showing you guys next week my new projects that I have on, because I'm going to start 2 new projects and more enabling from the retreat. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the retreat. I hope it kind of flowed in an okay way. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But have a great week, and I hope you get to do all the things you love. Okay, bye.